Welcome to this Tiger series video snippet. My name is Bernard Lamberel, and in the next few minutes I'd like to show you one of the most powerful tools available in the Tiger series that's really designed to address workflow challenges and streamline work in your facility. Let's switch over to our client machine. One of the main challenges that every editor faces when working on a SAN volume is that the SAN is really designed to have a shared volume that is available from multiple machines. So technically this volume would be available from all the computers in the facility, so we can all see the same project and I can work on any project anywhere. And that's really one of the most fundamental capability of a SAN. However, these are just regular folders, and although I can set permission to decide, perhaps if there's a dozen editors in the facility, I can decide 3 editors have access to this folder and another group has access to another folder, etc. But what I cannot control is who has access, who is currently working on a specific project, and avoid possible corruption there. So projectStore Pro is designed to address this. And the way it does it is if you visualize your SAN volume as an iceberg, and the top of the iceberg being this visible part. So this is the content that you would want everybody in the facility to have access to and see. There's a whole other world that's of project that is actually stored on the same volume, but you have to log into projectStore Pro, identify themselves to see some of the content that you're allowed to see and perhaps other people are not supposed to see. So for instance, here are all the project or the workspaces that are available to me. I logged in as Edit 1. And I can view these projects in different ways. I can look at the ones that are mine. So these are all projects. You can see the owner is Edit 1 here. So all these are projects that I've created. And then there's projects that have been shared with me. So these have been created by other users, but they've been shared with me so I can actually access them. And obviously if I look at it from the recently accessed, this is the one I most recently accessed. So if I want to work on this Coca-Cola project, I cannot find it from the main SAN volume again, even though it's stored on the same physical storage. I need to actually log in, and then I can say, okay, if I need write access because I want to edit the project, I can mount it, and it's going to mount as a new drive on my desktop, and now I have access to this project. I can mount as many projects as I want, some in read, some in write capability, and basically they're just mounting on the desktop. So if I log on another client machine, because now I have access to these projects and I can work. So let me switch over to a Mac computer. So here I'm going to log in as Ben. And by logging in as Ben, then the projects I'm seeing are different. In some cases they're the same, like this Coca-Cola project. But before I even work on this, I can see that it's already in use. Now I can click on this in use and I can see, oh, it's user edit 1 working on this other computer here that is currently accessing this project. I can still access this project because this project was defined as a multi-user write, compared to this other project, which is called new project DR, which is defined to be a single user write. So in the case of a single user write, it's going to work like a checkout check-in. So the first user that has access to this project and decides he wants to write or access the drive will basically make this project now only available as read-only for other users until this project is closed on this machine. So if I go back to my other system here, I can now again see that this project now is being currently accessed by 2 computers at the same time, 2 editors. Now this is one part. The second part is, and again, typically at this point I would basically start working my Premiere project or whatever project I have in here, in this container. At the same time, this data is also available over the web. So for instance, if I access this projectStore Pro interface via the web, I don't have to be physically online to see all these files. I can access the exact same browser remotely, so I can actually navigate my project even if I was at home and see the content of these files. Automatically, any media file that are stored in this project workspace are automatically encoded into H.264 proxies so that they can be viewed remotely again and played off the web. So this is a great way to essentially enable either a producer, or just if you're ingesting dailies during the day and you go home, by the time you go home, most likely the encoding will be complete and you can actually start reviewing your content. There's another view for objects, and where the system will actually look for specific projects that you might have created. Like in this case, it found 2 Final Cut Pro projects that have been created in this Coca-Cola folder or workspace. And these projects have some bins, they have some video files, etc. And all this content is basically indexed, the metadata of all these projects. So projectStore Pro knows how to read a Final Cut Pro, an Avid, a Premiere, an After Effects project, and it's basically able to pick up all the information you're creating while you're editing and essentially make it searchable. So for instance, when I'm looking on the home page and I'm now looking for John, well, I know that there is a bin called John Digital Bridge inside this Coca-Cola project. And if I'm looking for perhaps Ben, well, there's nothing here. And if I'm looking for Gaga, well, I'm finding a bunch of either clips for Lady Gaga or different references to the term Gaga as clip, and I can look for, there's no project with the word Gaga, I can look at objects or files. So different ways to search on this content and access this content. So projectStore Pro essentially allow me to create these workspaces and share and exchange with other people and decide how that content is being shared and exchanged with other people. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll invite you to watch the next snippet on how to use projectStore Pro Avid bin locking capability in order to work and emulate an Avid ISIS storage solution. Thanks for watching.